How's it going, guys? Kevin back at you with another video. We are in the basement today working with the laser cutter. So we're going to be making a flexible paddle sign for the pickleball paddle mount for PickFit. Instead of just your normal boring flat sign, we're going to make a living hinge sign. So it's going to make it bendable so that way it can fit around the poles that we're designing our mounts for. So with that, I'll show you guys a little bit of the laser cutter software and we'll get into making it. So we've got our 1/4 inch thick piece of Baltic birch in here. I know it's a little bit warped, but thankfully I've got a long enough focal length. This is a 2.5 inch lens for this 100-watt CO2 tube, so it'll have no problems cutting through that. Even if it's a little bit warped, we'll still be fine there. But basically, gonna jump over here to the software, just grab my file, drag it in, and looks like got a lovely little error there. So I'm just gonna have to try it again. And when this happens, sometimes you just gotta restart it. One of the downsides of this software, unfortunately. All right, so I think I figured out the problem. For whatever reason, it wasn't liking DXF, so I brought it into Inkscape over here and then added a little bit of stroke width to it, and then basically just converted this to an SVG in Inkscape and then brought it back over. And it looks like everything is showing up here just okay. So with that, I'm just gonna line up the laser, get my focus in. So for this machine, since the autofocus, if I hit the button here, doesn't always work, you can see it kind of zeroed out. I'll just bring this down to the piece, then I'll hit the autofocus. It'll sort of hard stop on the piece, which is fine. Then I'll just line it up here. You can see it's probably going to be a little bit off in this corner, so because this piece is warped, I'm probably just going to bring this to the middle, somewhere around there. And then I'm going to clear my last workspace capture over here. And speed for this, 1/4 inch thick, goes pretty fast. I'm actually going to turn the power down to like 50% here, so I really don't need it. And then speed, we'll just try maybe 45 to start, and that should cut through it, no questions asked. So we're going to run over here. We're going to process the workspace, and I forgot I need to change this. Right now it's in absolute. So I'm going to go to my settings, change this to relative. It's on fast, which is what I want. We're gonna run it again. It should be relative. There we go. And there you can see it's doing a nice little outline. So I'm gonna stop that. And then now I'm gonna bring this down. So I gotta close this. I gotta move the laptop. All right, so now that I've got the laptop on top, I'm gonna kick on my air compressor and fire up the exhaust fan in the back, and then we can get started cutting. So I just paused it quickly. I cranked my power up to 80, just a little bit higher. And it should hopefully cut through a little bit better now. So this is a 12-minute job, so I'm gonna let this go. Just keep an eye on it, make sure nothing catches on fire, of course. And then we will come back and see when it's done. You can see how it's changing. It's a little bit based on the focus there. I kind of figured that was gonna happen. I'm not too worried about it. All right, there we have it, the first attempt. Looks like it cut out on some, maybe not all of it, we'll find out. Tap. Try to make it pop free. There we go. It wants to. Always a little bit of a struggle. Probably have one little piece on the back side, it looks like. There we go. Got it free. Leave that in so we can do some more. And then you can see. Oh no, I broke it! So there we go. Failures, mistakes do happen. Looks like I need to make the bottom bar a little bit thicker because it's a little weak for bending. But overall, the nice thing is this does want to bend just a little bit. You can kind of see the curve. Now this doesn't need to be in a super aggressive curve, but I'm going to make some minor tweaks and we'll get back at it and see if we can fix this. I got a dual sign. So obviously that first attempt didn't work out. So what I've done to change it is I've extended the length of the fingers. Whenever you're designing something that has a living hinge, you want to think of it as small little bending beams that are flexing, and each beam is flexing a little bit, and that's what's causing it to be able to wrap or bend, and sometimes do a very tight radius depending on how long those beams are. But that's really what you're playing with. My first beams were a little bit too short, that's why they broke pretty easily. I am working with a quite small piece here, so size is your friend when you're trying to make these living hinges. I'm trying to make something that's reasonably sized, not too large, since these posts are only 8 inches in diameter. So if I make something super big, it's going to wrap around, you're not even going to be able to read the text. So I've made the fingers about twice as long, and I've also made them a little bit thinner, so that should allow them to flex more. Once this thing is on there, it's not going to be coming off, so I'm not too worried about durability from that perspective, but I want to be able to easily make that bend. So let's get into it and see how the second one comes out. All right, let's see if the second version is any better. Looks like it popped out a little bit nicer. We're gonna carefully pick it up here. You can see already it's more flexible. You can see it's wanting to bend, which is great news. I'm still going to be careful so it doesn't break, but I think that is exactly what we want. That should have no problems curling around the post, because that's about all the curl that it really needs, and it's going to be super nice and clear. Still have to decide if I'm going to color this or just sort of leave it the natural wood, but this thing is going to look super cool. So now to make 3 more of them.
Takes me back in time to laughter and long nights we left behind. We were young, wild under open skies, chasing horizons with open eyes. Yeah, through streets that still hold the shape of our plans. The skyline feels like a friend I knew, holding the echoes of me and you.
Alright, so there you have it. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'll figure out if I'm going to mount it with double-sided tape or magnets later on, but I'll be sure to show you guys the full setup once it's complete. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time.